So, hang on, let me get this set up so if anybody actually ends up watching. What's going on, everybody? Kind of a long-awaited, well, I haven't had any videos for about the last week or so. Reason being is my dad just died. It was last week, a week ago, Thursday morning at 2 a.m. So I have been out in Illinois tending to my elderly mother. And am currently back in Vermont for the time being, where I am actually, well, right now I'm just working on repairing the front diff because the helical gears showed up, but I'm in the process of packing up my 2-bedroom place to relocate back out to Illinois to take care of my mom. So that's now on my plate, and total, halt of my current career. I can pick up with electrical out there. I'm a card-carrying IBEW member, so I can work for Local 34 when I get there. I've already been in contact with them, but I have been actually working for some independent contractors here for about the last 9 months or so. I've had a lot of fun kind of stepping out into that realm. So at any rate, I got the news about this stuff, like, I don't even know, it was like a week ago this last Monday, so it's kind of been about a week and a half in the process now. But yeah, to just catch you up, I found out it was a week ago Monday. My mom called about mid-evening and said that my dad was in pretty bad shape, and I didn't really know what was going on. It turns out that he had late-stage lung and liver cancer, and I got back basically just in time. I was there for about 12 hours before he passed, and it was quite an experience. That's all I can really say. He was at home in hospice care for his remaining time, which, I had never really experienced before myself, and so it was certainly interesting and challenging pretty much all at the same time to kind of be thrust into, that sort of situation. And luckily I have some awesome cousins who live nearby and are right there in the area. Some women actually that I've known since I was like a little kid. They've been part of the family the whole time, and so they all swooped in and just kind of took care of things until I got there with my mom, and of course, helping with my dad and everything, because they obviously know what's going on. So anyway, yeah, when I got there, it was the sad scene as one could possibly imagine. I wasn't really fully entirely prepared. No matter what training you go through, I don't think anyone could ever prepare for the things that I was definitely about to go through. So give me 2 seconds here and I'll be right back. It had been about 9 or so years, I think, since I had been out to Illinois to visit. Dad and I never really quite got along these last few years, for a variety of different reasons. Not going to go into any details, of course, not to bore you to death. It's not really any of importance to any of it, but yeah, just for some family resolve, I just felt like it was my total, one, it was my duty to get out there before he passed, and number two, now it's my moral obligation to basically stop what I'm doing and go take care of my mom. And that is, something I don't think anybody really, ever, I know that there are mechanisms in place, stuff like that, to do things, but there really wasn't much of a family nest egg to go on, and there's just a couple of other factors that really kind of mean, just say that I have to go out there, I have to move out. So there's really, unfortunately, just no option. And And it's okay though. I feel like it's necessary, and I don't mind doing it because it's my mom, and I love my mom. You know, so who doesn't? At any rate, yeah, that's what's going on. I've had to deal with that. And so the helical gears showed up with this stuff. I ordered these like a day or two before my mom called and said, "Hey, you better come on out and see your dad before you can't anymore." So I ordered these, and also two. I think these were like 12 millimeter brass hex adapters to kind of push the offset out a little bit on these. So I got it increased like about 1.4 centimeters on the track width overall. And since I'm running these Interco Super Swampers on Tamiya beadlocks, these are substantially larger. And so I wanted to just push these out a little bit so they didn't look quite so goofy, because they're definitely a bigger tire. And I think honestly it kind of looks good. It's a little monster trucky, but I'm not really too concerned about that. I am going to kind of build this up to be a little bit more of a, I don't know, kind of Traxxas-like. I know a lot of the guys that run the LC70s run them on Traxxas, like the TRX4 platform. And so this TF2 is going to kind of sort of look a little bit more like that once the track widths push out, but it's certainly not going to run the same. At any rate, I am pecking away at getting this stuff put in, rambling along here, so bear with me. I'm not really doing that intense of a job right now. I just wanted to go live and say, hey, what's going on, everybody? Just try and tell everybody what's been happening, and that Vermont Scale Customs is about to become Illinois Scale Customs, I guess, if that's even going to be a thing. There is like the perfect like workshop and stuff like that at my dad's place, my parents' place, I should say. So there's a lot to, there is a lot to look forward to. There's no doubt about it. It's just some major changes are about to take place in my life, and it's just stuff that at this stage I didn't know that I was going to be looking at this sort of thing. And so, especially with the YouTube channel in full swing, if you've been around for a while, you know pretty much why this channel exists, and it's obviously so I can take some trucks on some pretty wild rides in some places that not a lot of people ever get to see. And now that I'm not going to have those options, I'm really going to have to do my homework when I'm in Illinois and find out where I can take you guys on the next journeys, I guess. So at least the videos are still somewhat interesting, because there's no ledge, there's no mountains. I don't think they're going to find too many waterfalls like you see in a lot of the videos right now. And so it's going to be different for a bit. I might even get into maybe driving longer distances and stuff like that. I used to go to Wisconsin all the time in the late 80s and 90s to go snowboarding up in Devil's Head, Wisconsin. And there's tons of ledge and rock 4 hours away from where my folks live, and it's right up I-55 and hop off a couple side roads. And so, there are options. It's just going to take a little bit of digging, a little bit of finding. I'm sure there's some stuff even closer, just looking on a map and stuff like that, seeing where, maybe rock quarries and stuff like that are located in and around the area. I'm just going to have to get resourceful. I'm just going to have to kind of learn the lay of the land a little bit differently. I've heard that there are a couple spots kind of sort of close around, and I'm sure that there are. Like, look at any elevation spot in and around Peoria, and there's got to be some rock and some ledge someplace to find. So it's going to be as challenging, as anything else has been. So that part of it is something that, it's going to be tricky, I guess. That's really kind of what I'm trying to say. So, but this whole week, needless to say, this last week and a half of my life this whole experience has been tricky. So I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's no amount of training that could ever prepare somebody for the things that I have gone through. We chose in-home hospice care to just allow my dad the respects of passing away in the home that he built 30 years ago after I moved out to Vermont. And so that meant me administering Ativan and morphine through his last hours, and watching those writhing death throes of at least painless agony, but just like watching the man's soul escape from his body was something, like I said, said it 1,000 times. You cannot prepare yourself in any way for ever seeing that stuff go on. It's just, it's otherworldly, folks. It really is. I'm a changed individual as a result of all the above. So it's been a crazy week. And I decided, well, you know, I got to do a video or two here, just because I just need to decompress with this stuff for a bit. And smoked this diff 2 winters ago at the quarry. That's an axial 35 turn in there on, I think, a 60 amp ESC, maybe a 40. At any rate, plenty of power for that thing in first gear, and I got it bound up and I didn't realize it was bound, and I just kind of kept hammering on the front end, which was a stupid mistake. And next thing I know, I just hear some grinding going on, and yeah, I must have just chewed some teeth in this thing, because obviously it just started skipping pretty horribly. And it took me, I don't know, a year and a half to finally order gears for it, so here they are. I'll be right back. What I think RC 4-wheel drive should really do is put more screws on their stuff. There you are. Or maybe I should just buy like a... Oh no. The guy that built this thread locked everything, including... Oh no. Is this reality? It is reality. This is terrifying. I might not even be able to get this thing opened up. This front axle might be just completely smoked. I could always take pliers maybe and see if I can't crack them that way. Doubtful. Especially all the way around. Oh, that one moved. Oh, that's aggravating. I bought this thing how many years ago? This feels like a long time too. Let's check this other two. Feels quite loose. There. Well. See if the old torque trick will work, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Two for two. Sweet. 3 for 3. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out and watching me take diff bolts off one by one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, and you're not totally bored to death right now, hit that subscribe button. Like, comment. I might not see it right now, but I will certainly get to it at some point. I mainly do running videos, of course, but every once in a while I feel inspired to do something crazy like go live and replace my diff gears. So here we are. Hey, you know, this isn't going so bad. So just remember, folks, every once in a while you might get lucky and have a Torx bit. Be able to break your hexes free if you have stripped out hex heads. You find the appropriate sized one that fits very tightly into each of the corners of the hexes. And just try and back them out very slowly without turning anything like really forcefully, or else you just round your Torx bit right off and then you'll be back to square one. This is only a trick that I've had to use a few times before, and this is probably, knock on wood, with 3 left, I'd say the most successful one so far. These are not 2s or 1.5s. They're like slightly larger. It's like a 1.6, it feels like, on this. These do not, either these were stripped out when this guy installed them, which they don't look bad, but certainly didn't feel very good. This is looking good. One left. I was a bit nervous that this thing was done. The other challenge is going to be getting, I remember the pin from the drive shaft, actually, that I do believe is shot. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I mean, you can't match a non-helical pinion with a helical ring gear. So, wish me luck on that. Certainly not a difficult install by any means. Pretty benign, pretty normal. Yeah, I see a little bit of rounded, yeah, right through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 teeth maybe. Yeah, about 7 or 8 teeth that are just rounded right over. Really bad right through there. I've never really had any gears go bad on. This is the first time in when I have a Galante 2, I have a TF2, and I have this TF2 long wheelbase. Plus I have 2 Galante 2 118s. I've never stripped a gear in any of the aforementioned crawlers, except for this. I'm also one to not just jam on things whenever trucks are bound up. I know that some people really like to sit there and just rail on it until something snaps, and then they're busy cussing at the truck, claiming that it's just not good enough. Ooh. I'm sorry, I'm internalizing a little bit here. Anyway, let's see what we got for grease. So in the process of moving, I did something to the knuckle of my right index finger, top knuckle, and it does not feel good. It's kind of arthritis-like, if you really want to know the truth. Being 52, doesn't surprise me. But it's all right. Are you not going to seat? There you go. Probably won't put this on before that. I love the tolerance on this. The absolute perfect fit. Oh, and by the way, the wheel, the hub extensions that I got for this also too have great tolerance. Because they only push out so far, they still need, you know, like those little recessed cap nuts that, like, you know, squeeze down into the center of the hub, and those happen to fit absolutely perfect on this set. It's like the first set that I've had that just lock right up with those tenetas, and it feels pretty good. Made up pretty well. Now that my hands are completely filthy, diff cover, you're here. Oh yeah, can't forget this part. Stay. Wish me luck here. Thanks in advance. Oh wow. I got a vise right over here, so I'm going to be off camera for a second and see if I can't throw this in the vise and perhaps use something to take this. Don't know how well this is going to get. I suspect not very good. Thankfully that was not a bit snapping, it was actually just plank skipping. That was a bit snapping now. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get that undone. That is a tragedy right there. Because obviously the straight gear set does not work with the helical gear set. So right now I don't know that I have a whole heck of a lot of option. Folks, that might just be the video right there. I might try and drill this out, but I'm not sure I can. Let me see what I got for bits. Then what do I, oh, I have pins. I think I have a pin somewhere. Might be an option. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. I can't even tell you how much that sucks because that sucks so much. Dang it. It just really makes me wonder what kind of luck I'm gonna have trying to drill like a titanium bit out of something with a softer metal. And then it's gonna catch the threads. Folks, I'm going to end the video. Many apologies for this right now. Kind of sucks that it just brought me to this point. I could turn around and put everything, spin it all back together, which is something I might end up doing, but I won't waste your time on camera for that. Basically, what happened here, to sort of reiterate, I bought this truck a couple years ago from, I think it was a guy in like either New York or Pennsylvania or something like that, and I think he used like red Loctite or something like that on basically everything. And then possibly like over torqued stuff too. There have been a couple times where I've tried to do some things with this thing and I couldn't do anything with it at all because those U-joint screws were just you just couldn't undo them. And so anyway, just snapped the bit off after getting the diff separated, and I can not get that thing freed up so I can put the helical pinion in, which is somewhere around here, to match the helical ring gear. So that right now is pretty much it for a minute. I'll get back to you. I'll have some running videos here before the end of the weekend, coming up with the TF2 from the quarry still, some stuff that I managed to get filmed before I went to Illinois. Once again, thanks for watching. Sorry for all the bad, morbid news at the beginning about my father passing, but I figured I'd share with you what's been going on in my life. It's certainly not all waterfalls and really cool rock crawling in Vermont Scale Customs world. There's real life stuff that goes on, and I've been dealing a whole bunch with some real life this last week, so I thought I'd share that with you. Again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Please allow me to get some of the super glue off my hands, and ring that bell notification if you haven't. Make yourself a cup of coffee, work on your TF2, have a good Friday night, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you.